Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Professor Dr. Syafrizal MPD as a lecturer of seminar on English language teaching course. My name is Jihan Salsabila as a moderator of today's event of presentation paper of seminar on English language teaching. I will invite the first speaker, Bayu Abdul Basit. Time is yours.
Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, first of all, I would like to give a thanks to the moderator for inviting me for this session of seminar. And today we have a session of seminar. And before we begin, I would like to introduce myself. So, my name is Abdul Basit, and I would like to present you the teaching strategies in applying the comparison of part of speech on ELT and Bahasa to enhance students' conversational speaking skills. Before we begin, I would like to introduce you and bring you to the content of the material that I would like to discuss. I will begin with the introduction of the material, and then I will explain the understanding of part of speech and the application in the language learning, and finally, the strategy of utilizing part of speech until we draw some conclusion. As I said earlier, I would like to tell you the introduction about part of speech. What is the significance of conversational speaking skills in the language learning? So, the conversational speaking skills play a pivotal role in the language acquisition, serving as gateway to effective communication and cultural integration. In the realm of language learning, proficiency in conversational speaking extends beyond mere vocabulary and grammar mastery. So, it encompasses the ability to engage in spontaneous dialogue, comprehend colloquial expression, and navigate the real-world interaction with confidence. Unlike the formal written communication, conversational speaking skills demand in the rapidly processing of auditory input, quick formulation of responses, and adaptation to various conversational contexts and registers. Next up, I would like to bring you into the brief overview of the use of part of speech in the language learning. So part of speech serve as the fundamental frameworks upon which language structure is built. By categorizing words into distinct grammatical classes such as nouns, verbs, adjective, adverbs, preposition, conjunction, interjections, and any other things, learners could gain insight into how the individual's words function with sentences and contributes to the meaning. So understanding part of speech is facilitating the syntactic comprehension which enable the learners to decipher the sentence structures and also help them to identify the subject-predicate relationship and discern grammatical roles of words within a sentence. Moreover, part of speech is also aware the students to aid in vocabulary expansion by elucidating the semantic relationship and contextual usage patterns. For instance, the recognition of a word's function as a noun or verb can significantly impact in the interpretation and usage in the different linguistic contexts. So that is why part of speech is required for the students to learning in the speaking process. And I would like to tell you the purpose of this research. The primary objective of this research is to delve into the efficiency of utilizing part of speech comparison between English and Bahasa in order to enhancing the students' conversational speaking skills within the domain of English language teaching or ELT. Like I said earlier, our topic today is proficiency of speaking skills based on the part of speech. So by undertaking a system analysis of part of speech systems, it inherent the both language. The study is aiming to uncover the potential challenges and opportunities for learners in acquiring conversational fluency. Though targeted pedagogical intervention that leverage part of speech compression, this research endeavor to the offer practical strategies and instructional approaches to optimize the language learning outcomes. By bridging the gap between theoretical linguistic concept and practical language use, these studies aspires to contribute in the ongoing discourse on innovative methodologies in ELT and empower education to cultivate communicative competence among language learners. So, before we actually discuss about part of speech, we need to know the definition and example of common part of speech first. So, for the understanding here, The definition of part of speech is a category of words similar to the grammatical properties and function with a syntax. Part of speech are used for the classification of words based on their syntactic roles and relationship in sentences. The traditional part of speech is including nouns, verbs, adjective, adverbs, pronouns, and any other thing that I've been explained before. While in bahasa, we know like subject, predikat, object, dan keterangan. Maybe keterangan is being replaced by adverbial. And and that is why part of speech is actually correlated from Indonesian or bahasa into English. Which why by this definition, we could highlight the differences and similarities between English and bahasa in the term of part of speech usage. To highlight these things, in English, we could see noun is typically proceed from adjective as in the word big house, while in bahasa, adjective is oftenly follows by noun like rumah besar. In English, we know as a big house, while in bahasa, we know as rumah besar. Uh, from the meaning itself, the semantic meanings, it have different meanings. It have different punctuation and also have different conveyor meanings. While big meaning besar, house meaning rumah. But in the big house, instead of besar rumah, we say it like a rumah besar. So that is the first highlight of the part of speech in English and bahasa. From nouns, typically. And from verbs in English commonly undergo the conjunctions into indicated tenses, aspect, mood, and voices, while bahasa verbs typically undergo into unchanged regardless of tense. Which are relying on the auxiliary words or context for temporal clarity. Additionally, English employ a wide array of auxiliary verbs like is, has, will for expressing various grammatical functions, where bahasa is relies more heavily on word order and context. So, after highlighting the differences between bahasa and English in part of speech, what is exactly the importance of part of speech itself in order to understanding the speaking communication, which are much more effective than the other learning process? Understanding part of speech is crucial for effective communication in both language because it serves as the foundation upon which language comprehension and expression are built. So why is it important? Because it will give us the clarity and precision from the nouns, verbs, adjective, and any other part of speech aspect to include in our sentences. It also could help us to build a grammar accuracy in order to building sentences in our semantic concept in our brains, in our minds, to exploit it with the speaking context. Also, it also could enhance our vocabulary expansion, effective language learning, cross linguistic transfer, and finally the communication flexibility. But how do the application of part of speech is doing into the learning process exactly? So by doing this, the application, we could do the pair work exercises. What is pair work exercises? Pair work exercises is divided by two explanation. The first one is providing the prompts for students to create dialogues incorporating various parts of speech in both English and Bahasa. And the second one is peer feedback session to evaluate each other usage of part of speech and conversational speaking skills. While the multimedia that we are going to use in the application of using the part of speech into the learning process is by using the videos, podcasts, or articles showcasing the conversation in both language. And we analyze the part of speech uses that we already seen in the video. Like when the somebody or the speaker is talking about some sentences, we're going to analyze the speech that is already been spoken by the person. So the guided exercises to extract and compare the part of speech from the authentic language material is also required in the order to having the multimedia to apply the part of speech into the learning process. And then finally, we we are required to apply the real life simulation by creating the scenario where students must use the English and Bahasa interchangeably, considering the appropriate part of speech usage in each language, and reflective discussion on challenge faced on the strategies employed during the simulation. So, how do the strategies is being held? The strategies could be started by first identifying the equivalent part of speech in English and Bahasa, and then with contrasting the usage and syntax of part of speech in both language. And the second strategy is engaging students in conversational scenarios that requires the use of specific part of speech. And then we encourage the students to apply the knowledge of part of speech, differentiating in the between between distinction of English and Bahasa in their interaction. And the last strategy is by facilitating the students in order to discuss of the differences in part of speech which are affecting the conversational speaking skills in English compared to Bahasa. And then lastly, for the third strategy, we are going to encourage the students to share strategies for navigating these differences. So I think that's all for my seminar. If there is a question, you may raise your hand. If there is no question, I think I will just stop the presentation. I guess there is no question, so I'll just close the presentation. So, in conclusion, incorporating scenarios where students must use the English and Bahasa interchangeably while considering the appropriate part of speech usage, along with the reflective discussion on challenges faced on strategies employed during this simulation, part of speech is offering a robust approach to language learning. Through these activities, students not only depends on their understanding of language structures and cultural nuances, but also develop the crucial communication skills necessary for the navigating multifunctional, multilingual environment. By actively engaging in the bilingual simulation and reflecting on their experiences, students are more likely to become more adept at English and Bahasa, which are they becoming much more easier to become a bilingual. Moreover, these activities promote the cultural sensitivity, empathy, and appreciation of linguistic diversity, preparing students to communicate effectively and respectfully in a globalization world.
Okay, thank you, Bayu, for the presentation. So for the next speaker, I will invite Putri Andriani as the second speaker. Time is yours.
Thank you, moderator. Um, Let me introduce myself. My name is Putri Andiani. I will present about speaking and listening English innovative strategies for fostering communicative competence in English language learners. So, the introduction is in a world that is increasingly interconnected, the ability to effectively communicate in English has become more essential than ever before. For English language learner, ELLS, developing communicative competence is not just about mastering grammar rules and vocabulary. It's about honing the skills necessary to confidently engage in real life conversations, understand diverse accent, and express oneself with clarity and fluency. Speaking and listening analysts, innovative strategies for fostering communicative competence in English language learners serve as a beacon of guidance and inspiration for educators and language learners alike. The following theoretical strands contribute to the research conceptual framework. First, English for specific purpose, ESP, was discussed in line with Richard and Rogers framework in order to construct a framework for developing a curriculum. Second, communicative language competence, Council of Europe 2001, was utilized to identify learning outcome and to guide the development of data collection instruments. Lastly, the communicative language teaching (CLT) approach, which was used to guide the development of teaching and learning activities in this study, was reviewed. The next is theories. Here are three theories about the material. First is communicative language teaching, CLT, emphasize the importance of communication in language learning. It advocates for authentic language use and meaningful interaction. The strategies in speaking and listening analysis likely draw from CLT principles to engage learners in real-life communication text, promoting fluency and accuracy simultaneously. The next is creation input hypothesis. Crescent proposed that language acquisition occurs when learners receive comprehensible input slightly above their current level of proficiency. The book may incorporate this theory of providing learners with opportunities to engage in spoken and written interaction that are challenging yet comprehensible, fostering language development. The last is Vygotsky socio-cultural theory. Vygotsky emphasized that role of social interaction in cognitive development. The strategies in the book might reference this theory by promoting collaborative learning environment where English language learner can engage in meaningful conversation with peers and instructor, scaffolding their language skill. So the next is method. According to Creswell 2012, based on post-positive ontology and pragmatic epistemology, the aim of this study is to supplement the qualitative data obtained for the questionnaire with qualitative information gathered from focus group interviews. In other words, triangulation, which can be accomplished by using a mixed method approach, is our primary goal in combining these two forms of data and analysis. Here are some methods to be relevant. First is learner-centered engagement framework. Develop a comprehensive framework that places English language learners at the center of the learning process. Two is interactive language labs. Implement state-of-the-art language labs equipped with cutting-edge technology to provide immersive speaking and listening experience. Three is multimodal instructional design. Integrate various methods of communication, including verbal, nonverbal, visual, and digital to enhance language acquisition. Finding. The finding is, through its innovative strategies, the program not only addresses the linguistic aspect of language acquisition, but also focuses on fostering communicative competence in real-life context. Several key findings emerged from interview or question to participants. So here the question. What innovative strategies are implemented to improve communicative competence in speaking English? And the answer is maximize the use of English as a means of communication and reduction use of Indonesian, in particular in the learning process for improved English competency, so that students can have the ability to explain the series of events and can pass the exam with a satisfactory score. And the last question, can you provide example of specific activities or exercise used in the program to develop speaking and listening skill? The answer is public speaking practice, active listening practice point, practice listening to covering class or audio recording, role-playing point or role-playing, and The last is practice speaking over the telephone or video call. The last is discussion. Speaking and listening unleash innovative strategies for fostering communicative competence in English language learners, presents a comprehensive and effective approach to enhancing speaking and listening skill among English language learners. As previously stated, the goal of this study is to investigate the potential cause of a student inadequate oral communication skill. The conclusion is in the dynamic landscape of English language education, the quest for enhancing communicative competence among English language learners demands innovative approach and unwavering commitment. Speaking and listening unleashed has illuminated a path forward, showcasing my myriad or pioneering strategies designed to foster linguistic fluency, cultural proficiency, and confidence in oral communication. Through the implementation of learner-centered engagement frameworks, interactive language lab, and multimodal instructional design, educators can create an immersive learning environment that empower us to actively engage in authentic language experience. By integrating cultural competence training and authentic performance assessment, we can cultivate not only language proficiency but also a deep appreciation for diversity and global interconnected. So that's all for me. Thank you for your attention, guys.
Okay, for the next speaker is myself. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Jihan Salsabila. So today, I will present my paper presentation with the title "The Use of Code Switching and Code Mixing in English Language Teaching: An Analysis of Children's Language Development." Next slide. The content of my paper. These are the contents of my paper. The first is introduction, method, literature review, findings and discussion, and the last is conclusion. So let's start from the first contents. The first content, introduction. The background of the paper is learning to use code mixing and code switching in schools has become a common phenomenon as a population that has a local language and Indonesian as communication. Students are much more accustomed to hearing or even understanding the two languages. So the use of code mixing and code switching is one of the efforts to make English learning in the classroom more effective and efficient so that students can understand the material presented. The problem statement of my paper is, will the habit of using code mixing and code switching in English learning still improve student language skills? The next is the next content is about the literature review. Code mixing can be concluded that a code or in sociolinguistics is a variation in a language, as Stockwell 2002 said that this code is a national symbolism used by humans to speak or communicate in a particular language, such as dialect, accent, or style on different occasions according to their purpose. And in other hand, code switching is an accidental or spontaneous phenomenon carried out by a speaker who understands two or more languages. As stated by Victoria, the term code switching in the sociolinguistic family focuses on using more than one language or dialect in conversation. According to Bhatia, 2012, because someone understands and comprehends the variation of language. Next is about Next slide is about the components contributing to code switching and code mixing. The first is discussing a specific subject matter. The second is quoting someone else's word. The third is emphasizing a point. The fourth is using interjections, including sentence fillers or connectors. The fifth is repeating information for clarification purpose. The next is clarified the content of the speech for the audience, and the last is affirming group identity. The utilization of code mixing and code switching in ELT, as described by Bloomfield, 1933, in language use, people often mix or switch between their languages in at least three different ways. They are spontaneously, to translate directly, and intentionally. One way code mixing and code switching are utilized in ELT is to provide linguistic scaffolding for learners. This means that teachers may strategically use elements from students' native languages to help them understand and grasp new concepts in English. In addition, Macaro and Tian 2012 said that this integration switch to the first language also helps foreign language learners recognize the surrounding environment. Additionally, the strategic use of code mixing and code switching can help bridge the gap between classroom learning and real-world language use. Teacher can prepare students for effective communication in multilingual and multicultural contexts by exposing them to authentic language variation and usage patterns. The next content we're gonna talk about the method. The methodology used in this paper is involve a comprehensive qualitative review of existing literature, theories of code mixing and code switching, and relevant educational practices in teaching English in Indonesia. The literature review serves as the primary method for gathering data and insight comprehensively. It includes scholarly article, empirical studies, and theoretical frameworks discussing the reasons for using code mixing and code switching phenomena in English language teaching and their benefits for student language improvisation. Moving on, the next slide is about the findings in the context of classroom settings. English teachers frequently employ code mixing and code switching as a pedagogical strategy, whether intentionally or inadvertently. This practice has become ingrained in instructional methodologies, creating a sense of familiarity among students. Over time, students develop an unconscious familiarity with the meanings and intentions behind commonly used term or phrase employed by their teachers. This familiarity contributes to a deeper comprehension of language usage and enhance students' linguistic proficiency. Firstly, as children engage in interactions and experiences within their environment, their vocabulary acquisition rapidly grows. Secondly, the strategic use of code mixing and code switching fosters a more immersive language learning experience. The next is about the conclusion. So the conclusion is code mixing and code switching have emerged crucial tools in the pedagogy of teaching English in Indonesia. Many teachers need help delivering instructional materials solely in English, which can lead to students' lack of comprehension and reduce effectiveness in learning process. Teachers can bridge the gap between languages by integrating code mixing and code switching techniques, making the instructional content more accessible and understandable to students. Research has constantly shown that the strategic use of code mixing and code switching enhances students' comprehension and promotes effective language acquisition. Students become familiar with language variation and translation, enabling them to understand and internalize the intended meaning of instructional content. This familiarity also contributes to a more engaging and immersive learning experience. A student actively engage with language variation in authentic context. So maybe just it from me. Thank you for your attention and the last wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So for the next speaker, I will invite Dwi Adistia. The time and place is yours.
Okay, thank you for the moderator. So now I would like to presentation my final paper by the title Exploring EFL Student Perceptions on the Effectiveness of Using Grammarly in Their Writing. Before I presentation about the material, there are table of contents. So the first is introduction, the next is literature review, the third is method, the fourth is finding and discussion, and last is conclusion. For the first is introduction, there are background, problem statement, and last is object of research. The first is figure of the paper. So artificial intelligence or AI may emerge as a futuristic technology that will revive human life. However, AI is not an advanced technology. Many applications of AI have a history of AI creation, including industrial, automotive, economics, and education. Advance in educational technology, especially in English as a foreign language, blend of education with AI have the potential to improve learning input, process, and outcomes. English foreign language or EFL students can make errors in various parts of writing, such as spelling, punctuation, and grammar, when compiling and finding meaning in English due to the use of this language. From Fitria 2021. Their preliminary research specifically focused on the use of Grammarly, which can help EFL students with assignment to verify their writing. They have some recent research that indicates the need to study EFL students' understanding of Grammarly use, particularly in the context of article writing. The authors of this article took this issue into consideration because grammar is prioritized in writing articles, so that the authors of this article do not have difficult understanding the content of the writing. Additionally, a grammar is also provided to help users check their environment when creating articles. So the next is the problem statement. So the problem statement is about investigating EFL students' perceptions of the effectiveness of Grammarly in their writing. This study seeks to investigate how EFL students perceive Grammarly as impact on their writing skills, including aspects such as grammar accuracy, writing style, and overall improvement in written communication. So, the study seeks to understand whether EFL students find Grammarly to be a valuable tool in improving their writing proficiency, and if there are any perceived limitations or challenges associated with it. Yeah, so the next is about object of research. So predicting the text using prior knowledge, find EFL students' effective understanding of using Grammarly in their writing and investigate the benefits that EFL students gain from Grammarly in effort to check grammar in their writing. Okay, the next is literature review. For the first review is about the nature of perception. According to Kunjaraningrat, Sahal 2001, perception is a manifestation of human brain process which are realized as phenomenon views, many aspects including as feelings, need, motivation, education, preference, experience, and so on, arranged in this process. This process is started by reaction to those goals. So, in addition, perception can be defined as the process by which a person's brain arrives at a stimulus that makes sense. Perception is then made from series of steps. This begins by receiving a simulation of an object through the sense, and the process is by reorganizing the stimulus into the nervous system, which is called sensation. This process is carried out by thinking, evaluating, and interpreting the meaning of an event. Yeah. So the next literature review is about the definition of grammar. Yeah. So linguists and academic variously define their grammar. Grammar is traditionally defined as the use of words of intellectual purpose. This helps in coordinating different words together with the forms complex sentence and discourse. From Morenberg, 1990. Grammar is the practice and learning of principles that will teach how words change their form and how to think. This definition contains two important meanings. There are grammatical rules and analyze of how these rules should be learned and applied. It forms the basic structure of a language. Yeah. About Grammarly, Alex Sciencesko and Max Litvin launched Grammarly in 2008. Grammarly helps identify who is right. Grammar adapts to your work and increase confidence in written English. Grammarly is a writing tool that helps English learners edit and proofread their writing, improve grammar, spelling, grammar, punctuation, and vocabulary. The Grammarly app provides writing advice and guidance. Grammar correction include specified errors and word choice error. This can also help with inconsistencies such as emails. This can increase the uniformity of their slang. This is especially useful when writing for a wide audience, from business people to friends and relatives. This will assess your vocabulary and reflect what is actually happening, so you don't have to think about your writing. Yeah. So the next is the definition of writing. So Tobey et al. 2019 state that writing is one of the critical skills that Indonesian EFL students must have in order to be too adequately in written communication and certain academic purpose such as essays, letters, articles, journals, and so on. Meanwhile, writing is a process that takes time because the writer requires several times to carry out certain internal writing process. According to Osima and Hogyu, 2006, a writer's writing process includes several steps such as finding the ideas he wants to express, organizing and outlining his ideas, putting his ideas on paper, revising and reviewing his writing, and publishing his written product. Based on these theories, we might agree that writing is a very important thing, communication that convey ideas with clear, clarify, and the appropriateness of writing to perform multiple writing assignments. The last literature review is about framework of thinking writing. This relationship between students' perception and use of Grammarly can have a significant impact on their writing. Grammarly is an online writing tool that provides an automated grammar and spelling suite, as well as suggestions for improving writing style and clarity. So students' understanding of Grammarly can influence their willingness to use their work and how they incorporate its influence back into their writing process. Certain students may view Grammarly as a valuable research that helps them identify and connect things, leading to improved writing quality. They may view it as a crutch in lieu of developing their own writing skills. This perception can shape the next content is about method. So the research approach is the type of research that will be used is qualitative research. So this research was conducted in GFORM, and this research was aimed at students at Sultan Agung Tirtayasa University. The participant of the research, there are 30 participants who were selected using purposive sampling technique to find suitable participant for this research. Yeah, for the next is finding and discussion. So, based on the result of the study, EFL students have effectively understood the use of Grammarly in their writing. This can be seen from the result of the statement. Questioners, well, EFL students mostly agree with how Grammarly is effectively understood by them. So, the results show that Grammarly is very useful and helps EFL students to check their writing. This is shown by the amount of agreement on the statement of the questionnaire result. Although Grammarly has a positive view among EFL students, it still has its drawbacks. Some students still feel that Grammarly is not perfect, and there are still some shortcomings in checking student writing perfectly. So through this study, it can be concluded that almost all EFL students use Grammarly as a tool to check grammar in their writing. They almost always rely on Grammarly checking grammar in their writings and assignments. Yeah, so the discussion is based on the data collected in this research. Grammarly is useful and really helps students in writing. The grammar correction is true, covering everything from grammar, punctuation, writing style, to the use of the objects, verb, adjective, and so on. This is also a brief explanation of the error, so you can understand why it is wrong. If this misspelling, then publishing it will be the same idea. So Grammarly will come in handy if you write something like that. Yeah, so the last is conclusion of my paper. So this study found that Grammarly has both pros and cons. Grammarly check students citing grammar. The grammar is simple and complete. The grammar use less quota than other grammar tools. Grammarly can also catch errors such as switching between a and an when writing assignments or articles. So the grammar is not always correct. Grammarly corrections may shift meaning or read subconsciously while reading completely grammatical paper. Grammar helps them organize punctuation, articles, patterns, and vice versa. Grammarly helps students check their grammar, especially students in English education. For divisions, Grammarly provides many benefits, including completing functions, saving quota, being good at these dedicating types, and many more. Yeah, maybe just that from me. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'll give it back to moderator.
Okay, for the last speakers, I will invite Almaida Hasanah. Time and place is yours.
Okay, thank you, Jihan. Here I would like to continue for this seminar presentation. Here I will be presenting the result of the research I have done here about strategies for developing English speaking and listening skill in elementary school students. Next slide, please. And there are the table of content. There are introduction, theories, method, finding and then discussion, and the last conclusion. Next. And the first table is about the introduction. English English is a global lingua franca and an essential tool for academic, social, and professional success. Speaking and listening are very important among the basic skills in mastering English because they serve as a foundation for building other language skills. Early mastery of these skills is critical for children's linguistic development and academic achievement in English. Mm, at the elementary schools, English is used to interact with friends. The topic of the lesson relates to the contents of everyday life situation. Students are invited to practice interaction with their friends so they have no difficulty pronouncing English. Learning English in elementary school requires frequent pronunciation practice. And according to Razer and Dick, throughout the teaching and learning process in an online class, English teachers may employ a range of instructional strategies to achieve learning objectives, and the call note that the teacher's responsibility is to develop successful plans and strategies for fulfilling students' educational needs. Primarily communicating in language being learned, English speaking and listening skills are essential for children to communicate and interact with others effectively. However, developing these skills in elementary school children can be challenging to do due to various factors. In this article, we'll discuss strategies for developing English speaking and listening in elementary school students. Next slide. And and for the theories from this material is from Vygotsky. According to Vygotsky, adults in society foster children's cognitive development by changing them in challenging and meaningful activities. Adults convey to children how their culture interprets and responds to the world they saw, the meaning they attach the object, events, and experience. They provide the child with what to think, the knowledge, and how to think, the process, and the tools to think with. And according to Vygotsky's cultural theory, social interaction and language scaffolding are essential for children learning. According to this hypothesis, children learn best when engaging in meaningful conversation with older speakers. The sequence methodologies may be employed to enhance the oral and auditory comprehension of English by elementary school students, such as scaffolding, reciprocal teaching, collaborative learning, cultural awareness, and modeling use of multimedia, formative assessment, prior knowledge, and learning environment. Next slide, please. And the method these research use the qualitative method. The qualitative method is utilized an essential element of the study. Qualitative data were obtained through classroom observation and teacher interview to gain insight into instructional practice and their research effectiveness. And the sample from this research for comprise elementary school students aged 6 to 12 from reserved linguistic backgrounds, and instruments such as quizzes and tests can be used to assess a child's English speaking and listening skills. The Based on quizzes application to develop listening and speaking skills, Quizzes is a learning platform that offers multiple tools to make a classroom fun, engaging, and interactive. This application has many learning features. A teacher and student can access this application for free. This application is also easy to use, and this instrument can help teacher identify areas where a child may be struggling and develop targeted strategies to improve their skills. Next slide, please. And the finding and the next table is finding and discussion. For the definition is speaking and listening are mutually impactful interactive process. Speaking is an expressive language ability in which the speaker communicates through spoken symbols. In addition, listening is a receptive language skill that entails deciphering written or spoken symbols and meaningful sentence. Speaking and listening were traditionally taught as described skills in school and were seen as distinct discipline. Nevertheless, introduce a new speaking and listening are now taught as a single communicative process and are regarded as interactive. To effectively develop children's English speaking and listening skills, addressing the overall problems and its specific details is essential. For example, a child might need more vocabulary and understanding of English sentence structure to help understand spoken English. And some problem teacher facts regarding strategies. Uh, teacher need teacher need help developing English speaking and listening skills in elementary school. Some of these problems, such as lack of vocabulary, pronunciation challenges, reluctance to speak, the some students may need to be more open to speaking in English, which can hinder their progress in developing their speaking skills. And the lack of confidence, students may need more confidence in their speaking and listening abilities, and the limited resources, teacher may have limited resources such as textbooks and teaching materials, which can make it challenging to provide students with the necessary practice and support to develop their English speaking and listening skills. To overcome the challenges, their teacher can implement various strategies such as incorporating active listening exercise, using storytelling and literature, employing the directed questioning, focusing on pronunciation training, encouraging comprehension practice, and many others. And the next slide, please. It is possible to think of strategies as a learner's approach, and management of a text and listener can be two effective methods for approaching and managing their listening. And speaking, these such as cognitive strategies are mental activities related to comprehending and storing input in working long-term long-term memory for retrieval. Cognitive strategies are learner behavior in the teaching and learning process associated with using the learner's thinking power. And the last metacognitive strategies are those conscious or unconscious mental activities that perform an executive function and managing cognitive strategies. Metacognitive strategies are all learner behavior related to learners techniques or way of dealing with managing teaching and learning materials. By analyzing the strategies, we can see how they learn and how they learn more effectively. There are four generally metacognitive strategies. Selected attention is a recited metacognitive strategy focusing on specific aspect of a learning text. Next slide, please. The finding of the study revealed several strategies that schools discussion, tutoring, and role-playing fostered opportunities for authentic communication and interaction, utilizing multimedia resources such as audiovisual materials and educational games enhanced students and stimulated their interest in language learning. Furthermore, explicit instruction and on pronunciation, vocabulary, and listening comprehension strategies contributed to improving student linguistic proficiency. Next slide, please. And this is the result of based research method use a questionnaire based on the quiz's application to develop listening and speaking skills. It can be used from the chart of the 30 students in class 6B. 30% had correct answer, 40 had wrong answer, and 20 had answers that were missed due to delays in answering within the time given. Many students must be more dexterous when listening to English songs and are less fluent in speaking. And the conclusion, and last is conclusion. Speaking and listening skills are the foundation for other language skills and are particularly important for children during their informative years. However, teaching these skills can be challenging due to factors such as variety of learning styles, linguistic backgrounds, and individual differences among students. Strategies such as scaffolding, reciprocal teaching, collaborative learning, cultural awareness, role modeling, multimedia use, formative assessment, and considering prior knowledge and learning improvement can effectively develop elementary school student English speaking and listening skills. Maybe that's all for me. I'll give it back to moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alma, for the presentation. Maybe just it from our group. And the last, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.